So, we have our first official update related to the much-anticipated sequel to Godzilla Minus One after its official announcement 3 months ago. So, if you are a regular viewer on my channel, chances are that you might already be aware of the fact that the sequel for the critically acclaimed Godzilla Minus One has officially been greenlit and confirmed by none other than the director of Minus One himself, Takashi Yamazaki. Fast forward to present time. In a new interview with Variety yesterday, the director confirmed that work is currently underway on both the screenplay and storyboards for the Big G's return in the sequel. Takashi also confirmed that he is expecting a much larger budget for the upcoming sequel, as the first film was made on a humble budget of just $15 million reportedly. Apart from that, Takashi also spoke about a very interesting technology which he plans to use in his upcoming movie in order to enhance the film even further, especially for longtime Godzilla fans. Now, before I go into more details, I want you guys to spend just 1 second of your time to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you want more kaiju-related contents over here. Trust me, it truly means a lot. Okay, with that, let us get back to the video once again. As a matter of fact, Yamazaki was at the Visual Effects Society Awards, where he was asked about the upcoming sequel to Godzilla Minus One. During the interview, he was also asked about his opinion and views on the role of artificial intelligence in filmmaking, and these were his exact words in response to the same. He says that it is a very capable assistant or tool as it stands right now, but it is not at the point where it can kind of take center stage and generate what humans can. Right now, it's not in any of our pipelines because of that reason, but the speed at which AI evolves is just so immense that where it goes from here remains to be seen. Until recently, I've been still shooting on film, and I like to use miniatures. So I know that someday we're going to have to embrace and kind of work with AI, but I'm probably going to be one of the later ones because I do like working with older technology and techniques. So, from his comments, it is pretty sure that Mr. Yamazaki is not too fond about using this technology right now, but the interesting part is what he mentions in his last statement. As you can see, Takashi says that he might make use of AI in some of his later movies, which clearly indicates that we might actually get multiple Toho Godzilla projects in the future. This is literally so cool to think about. We might get an entire series of Toho Kaiju movies within the Minus One universe, which could very well give rise to a modern-day version of the Showa era, if you know what I mean. However, that is all speculation at this point. Coming back to the sequel once again, first of all, I am still so unbelievably happy at the news of its confirmation, not just because we are getting more Godzilla content, but because of the fact that the Big G Man is once again returning back to his dark, grittier origins after witnessing him become almost turned into some kind of a superhero in the most recent Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. Now, don't be so quick to hate me for saying that out loud because I am not in any way criticizing the current MonsterVerse version of the character, but taking into consideration everything that is unfolding in Hollywood, how movie franchises these days are just looking to copy and follow the MCU path in a desperate effort to earn some easy money, I'm actually quite glad to witness the Big G Man making a return to his origins at Toho one more time, especially with what they managed to achieve with Godzilla Minus One last year and Shin Godzilla 2016. Now, if you remember the ending of Godzilla Minus One, the Big G was shown to be regenerating from his fragments under the ocean, which is where I believe the sequel could start off. While the military in Japan is able to take down the Big G by blowing him up, we get to witness the pieces and fragments of Godzilla beginning to reform and hinting at the King of the Monsters comeback in a future sequel. After hearing about the increased budget for the sequel, I am almost 100% certain that the film is going to introduce us to a major kaiju who is going to act as the other main antagonist and will have an epic monster battle with the Big G. In fact, fans have already started speculating on this idea. Some believe that the sequel will feature Anguirus, while others believe it could be Rodan, and some even believe that the sequel could feature Destroya himself. However, after doing my fair share of research, I think I might know for sure who this mysterious titan could be. If you remember, in the movie, Noriko sacrificed herself to save Koichi and gets struck by Godzilla's atomic breath in the process. However, at the end of the movie, we see that Noriko somehow magically survives this brutal incident and has almost no injury marks on her body apart from this weird spot on her neck. In the film, we witnessed Godzilla healing itself at a remarkable speed several times. So, it's safe to speculate that the exposure to G-cells during the blast is what in fact saved Noriko's life. I believe what happened is that a small piece of Godzilla latched onto her, and rather than creating a second Godzilla, a new creature was born as a result. At the end of the movie, we see her in a hospital, and if I'm correct, there were flowers besides her bed. These flowers could actually symbolize and indicate something much bigger and significant. I am talking about this majestic and larger-than-life planet monster called Biollante. If you have watched the Godzilla vs. Biollante movie, you would know that this thing is formed from a plant, woman, and Godzilla's DNA. Conveniently, all three of these things were in the same room together. Another thing to note is that after Godzilla's rampage in -1, the film takes a few moments to focus on some scientists collecting samples of Godzilla from the wreckage. This mirrors the first scene of Godzilla vs. Biollante, where scientists are collecting Godzilla cells from the wreckage of the previous movie. To be honest, I already have chills running down my spine, visualizing a modern-day Godzilla vs. Biollante movie with the kind of VFX and CGI that we witnessed in -1. Let me tell you that Biollante is definitely one of my top 3 kaijus, and I honestly feel that she is the most unique and underrated kaiju. Her design, I believe, is one of the coolest for any kaiju in history, and has one of the most emotional and meaningful backstories you could ever think of. So, to see her make a return in the sequel for Godzilla -1 would actually be like a dream come true for me. Another kaiju who I believe has a very realistic possibility of being introduced in the sequel is Hedorah, because Yamazaki himself had stated multiple times that he personally has a desire to give fans a remake of Godzilla vs. Hedorah. For those unaware, let me inform you that Hedorah was initially an alien life form that originated from the Dark Gas Nebula in the Orion constellation and arrived on Earth in a comet. It then grew exponentially by feeding on the planet's pollution, transforming himself from a microscopic, tadpole-like creature into a giant, oversized, larger-than-life toxic sludge monster. Hedorah, as a matter of fact, could easily be incorporated into the sequel, as he can be shown to grow from the severe nuclear fallout within the city after the events of the last movie. I think it would be interesting if Hedorah was born from the Ginza attack. The smog monster appearing from Godzilla's nuclear fallout could be a fun retooling of the character, and you could even connect him to the pieces of Godzilla's flesh that were recovered after the Ginza attack, though that might be a stretch. Now, all these are just my predictions, and nothing is set in stone at the moment. In fact, we are yet to get an official release date for the movie. However, I am pretty sure we are going to see at least one very iconic kaiju making a return to the silver screen. It could be Hedorah, it could be Anguirus, it could be Rodan, or it could even be Destroya or Space Godzilla. Either way, I am absolutely pumped and excited to hear about the confirmation of the sequel to Godzilla -1, and I absolutely cannot wait for its release. So, that is all I had to share in this video. Do let me know your thoughts and ideas on this subject in the comments down below. If you enjoyed watching, please do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.